All right, so why is everyone talking about Nikola stock? Well, in my opinion, I think it has a lot to do with the delisting notice the company received from Nasdaq. So rather than having a lot of speculation as to what that means, I thought it would be most informative to go to direct to the company, looking at what the CEO said about that delisting notice, and I thought that would be most informative. So let's get right into it. The CEO of Nikola saying, "We did receive a notice of non-compliance with respect to the minimum closing bid from Nasdaq. We expect to have up to 280 calendar days to remedy that problem." So to remedy that problem, they need to regain a closing bid price compliance. The common stock must close at or above $1 for 10 consecutive trading days in either of the 280 calendar day periods. So Nikola's stock can get back into compliance by trading above $1 per share for a longer period of time without Nikola having to do anything about the situation. They can just take a hands-off approach. If the stock price goes back up, trades above $1 per share, the problem will solve itself. However, if that doesn't happen, if the stock price continues to trade below $1 per share and that causes Nikola stock to be out of compliance with Nasdaq, there is something the company can do about it. And the CEO talks about it here. We can effectuate, or we can do, a reverse stock split of our common stock to move Nikola stock price above $1 and regain compliance. So many of you have probably heard of a regular stock split where one share is split into 10 shares, but you can also do a reverse split where 10 shares are turned into one share. And what that will effectually do is increase the price of each share because the share will be larger, right? Just like a stock split makes each share smaller, so the price of the stock will be smaller as well. A reverse split does the opposite. It increases the share and therefore increases the price that investors would be willing to pay for one share of stock, and that will boost up the stock price, very likely to be effective. But the reverse stock split currently requires an affirmative vote from the holders of the majority of common stock holders. So before the company can do a reverse stock split, it must get shareholder approval. It's not something that the CEO can do, you know, through executive decision. It needs to get shareholder approval. But that said, shareholders are very likely to approve this because shareholders want the stock to be listed on the Nasdaq, because being listed on the Nasdaq offers greater liquidity and puts it in part of more index funds and allows the stock to trade. Probably gives it a little bit of a boost to be included in the Nasdaq in terms of the share price, but the also allows more liquidity, which is really important when you're dealing with a smaller size company like Nikola is. You want that liquidity. You want to be able to buy and sell shares with little friction in between the bid and the ask price. So in closing, the CEO says, "We believe we will be able to regain NASDAQ compliance and will work to ensure Nikola common stock is not delisted." So it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. This notice that Nikola got that of being potentially delisted from the NASDAQ is not a big deal. The company can take action to fix it if it needs to. It might not even need to if the share price rebounds. So I know this is creating a lot of questions among many Nikola stock investors. I hope this video helps shed some light on that news, on why everyone is talking about Nikola stock. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.